Right. Hello, everyone. It's morning. It's 45, quarter to 9. I'm tired. I have coffee and I have to prep D&D because the game day is tomorrow. So, without further ado, drive into it. Let's go. This is the Albion game, so if you are a player in the Albion game, bail out now. We did something last time. I think I had graphics up of Gridmapper with a dungeon I created, and these are the things that appear in the level 2 of the dungeon. Hello, Gassiform Snake. Welcome to the stream. I think I have to pull up Gridmapper and right. Have to get my file back of level 2. Floating island level 2. And let's go there. So question to anyone able to answer on the stream, is there are there black borders on your window, on your video stream? Are there any black borders? Because I'm seeing 3, 2 to the left and 1 to the bottom, and it looks terrible. I'm sorry. Oh, did I do this last time? This looks familiar, but yeah. I think what I need first though is I have to go back and make my peace with what in level 3. Okay, Gassiform Snakes says there's black borders. That's bad. I blame OBS Studio. This is actually a bit awkward. Can I? Oh well, we'll live with the black borders for now. It's terrible, but it doesn't detract too much from the experience, I think. And I'll get better with streaming over time, I hope. So this is the end game of next session tomorrow. Next session is tomorrow. I'm late as usual. So this is the Thoma throne we talked about. There's a floating island. Players can sit on the throne if they find the throne, and if they are spellcasters, they can use their spells to move the island. So, what I intend to do now is I had a few ideas, maybe in my sleep, what I want the Thoma throne room to have. So I'm going to put this down in writing for a bit, right? So there's a Thoma throne, and players can cast spells or spend spell slots rather to make the island visible and invisible respectively. Spell slot level 1. They can move the island with a spell slot level 2. They can, and this is going to be cool, I hope, activate the mirrors on the walls of the Thoma throne room with a spell slot level 1. These mirrors will show images from the outside of the island. They can cast some sort of scrying spell with with a spell slot level 2. In other words, create a magical spy drone with which they can fly around and see the city, the invading Orcish fleet, and so on. And most cool idea I had was that was in my sleep, I think. They can spend a level 3 spell slot to call the Arakokra people living in the caves of the Flying Island to man the siege engines. So this is the idea. The players, they crawl to through this dungeon, they fight some foes, and when they find the final room, the Thoma throne room, they can use this floating island to attack the Orcish fleet or impress upon their leaders that they should give up. Because I pulled it up last time. It's thank you, Gassy Farm Snake. I think it's cool too. I had this up last time. And the Arakocra would man the siege engines, and this would be quite impressive for the Orcish fleet. That suddenly there's Greek fire raining from above, and they might just give up. So, without that, I think that's all I had as ideas for the Thoma throne. This is okay. I just had to put this down because if you get stuff in your dreams, write it down as fast as you can. It will be gone tomorrow, so write that down. Good. I think I still need to draw a level 1, and I would guess that some resistance should be encountered at level 1. Now I need, this is the way down from level 2, so I need a way up around this corner. We're way up to level 1 around this corner of level 2. So, let's remove these and put turns in. So, like this. And the stairs up. These borders are annoying even me. It's terrible. I am a letterboxer. I should not have access to video equipment. Right then. So there's going to be a new grid mapper map. I'm spamming Alex Schroeder's wiki with my levels, and he told me, he messaged me and he told me, you know, my program supports multiple levels in one file. So, and I told him, yeah, that's quite cool, but I can't deal with that right now because I need to export an SVG file to put it on the screen later. And if they are grayed out other levels, I think I can show this here. If you press Y and Z on, you can move up and down. So, and this would be Z. This is down a level, and you see the upper level through. And that's not convenient for me because I want to export these dungeons as PNG files to show them on the screen on my big TV. So the players can point at things on the TV. So I don't use this feature, and this means that instead of one entry on the wiki per dungeon, you get one entry per level from me. I will probably have to fix this in some way and remove the entries from the wiki because I'm spamming his wiki, and it's I'm frankly a bit embarrassed about that. So stairs. These are the stairs up from level 2. They should be around this area. So Um, and there should be stairs down from the ground level. I haven't even decided where. I know I haven't. There, I think it should be in the entry to level 1 of the dungeon should be in the wizard's tower. I think that's the thing that makes most sense. Because you wouldn't want your squishy wizard walking around to find the entry to his island controlling dungeon when there's trouble in the air or below. So it has to be part of the tower here. Yeah, well, you could come down a tiny staircase from the wine cellar, and this is and then level 1 actually starts. So you come down here, right? This is your entry point into the first level of the dungeon, and maybe the first thing. Let's just put a 1 here. Level 1. Entry point coming from wine cellar of wizard's tower, like this. And I guess there should encounter some opposition soon. So we know that after the wizard, the real wizard of the owner of the island died, we know that the seals of the prisoner's tower have been broken, and there could be literally any monster from any source could be here. So much for that. There would be traps. Maybe I could use they could use spell slots to disarm the traps when they realize they're magical, when the rogue realizes they're magical, for example. David is the rogue. That would make sense to him. So I'm going to put 2 magical traps here. Magical trap spears, endlessly reloading, firing once per round across the hallway. I think that's fine. So have to put a would fire from west to east. So from west to east. Right, and trap 3 should be like it would be kind of cinematic if the spears would hit you and then drag you into a pit trap or something like that. Ooh, I'm getting disconnects. That was just a bit of lag. It was just a bit of lag. The video is fine, I hope. Right. I write this down. Also dragging people 2 squares when hit into a spear pit trap. And this trap is mundane, so they can disable it the way they want. There should be a switch to cover the pit. Rogue's job. Right. Pit trap is number 3, and then and if they would be low on hit points or anything at this point, I could put an orc here who gets then shot and dragged, and they would have advance warning, so they are not going to be as vulnerable. To the traps and lose many hit points and then not have any resources to fight or steer the island. So is there a monster that is large, so would take up 4 squares and can squeeze through 1 square areas? Because if there were, this would be the place to find it. So it would be like fleeing from the it should be a smart monster, because it would be fleeing from the prisoner's tower into the wizard's tower dungeon. So it might have an objective here, but I don't know which monster to put here yet. I don't know yet. Okay, let's spread this out like this. So, and in case you did not realize, this grid mapper tool is the bomb. Did I say floating or flying island? Floating island. Technically. As far as the players know, that's the truth. Okay, save. And it's saved. This looks like a room that could host some badass opposition. Maybe what if the room were that big just to hold the monster that will attack the players, and then no, that's not good. Like this. And then the dungeon continues. So a huge, and it could be an enchanted giant held captive, and nobody knows how he got through these tiny caves, hallways, and he could be right here. I think I'm going for the giant. Large hill giant. Let's say hill giant. Shackled magically. Shackles will disappear once players can't tell the code word to the hill giant. And there is I think when I look at the notes from last time, I think they found an encrypted diary of Surmerin. Intelligence checks to reveal content. The cipher changes constantly. I told them on a daily basis, so that might be. So they can retry every 24 hours. Was my ideas, but maybe the sections should be smaller, and they could retry every hour or something. So if Ray, playing the wizard, can't figure it out, they might reroll for a different kind or the same kind of information 1 hour later. So I'm going to put this, going to revise these, and I have coolest players ever, because if I tell them, hey, I made a mistake, I told you it was daily, it shouldn't be daily, it should be every hour, they would totally understand. They would never hold it against me or telling me that I'm cheating or something like that. So changes, oops. Every hour. So PCs can retry to uncover intel in the every hour, but bits are small. Example, code words, locations of rooms, of specific rooms, etc. So this is my retrofitting, and it fits. Right, Hill Giant. Hill Giant inside a dungeon. Do I need more space to maneuver the Hill Giant? It could, if it gets dragged or driven back, like the players are coming from here, if it gets driven back into the corner, it would be unable to move totally. It would be stuck there, and the players could just slaughter it any way they please. The players are level 3, by the way. I think I will get them to level 4 before the game starts tomorrow, and then I have to get my monsters manual. Where is it? Oh. The monster manual and the Hill Giant. Golem, no. Goblin, no. Elves. Galabdur. They're awesome. I used them before with this group, so can't put them menu. Giants. Frost, no. Cloud, no. Stonehill. Hill Giants are selfish, dim-witted brutes. Yeah, they're primitive. That's fine. They could be like the Hulk guarding the entry to the dungeon. And the Hill Giant is like challenge 5, and the players would be 4th level, so that's fine, I guess. Can't make 2 attacks. The attack deals 18 damage. Yeah, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a Hill Giant there, and huge, it's not large. So large is like... Stupid and deadly, it says. They are stupid and deadly. That's perfect. Let's do the Hill Giant. Right, this is looking rather good. Oops. Master Exploder. So stairs down. Yeah, like this. This is, I think, to be honest, I think I'm done here. Oh, and time's almost up too, so I intend to keep these streams between 20 and 30 minutes, because I think it gets boring to watch after an even longer while, and I try to be as fresh and interactive and verbose in commenting what I'm doing as possible, and after half an hour I need a break. Even if I'm just prepping for myself, half an hour is basically what I can do in one stretch. So save this. I don't think I changed anything here, just going to save. So I think I have a game for tomorrow. I might, if I think about it during the day, and thank you, Gassy Farm Snake. No, I'm not worrying too much. I mean, yeah, it's fine. What I wanted to say is that there are so many pros like Matthew Mercer, Matt Colville, other guys on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube who can tell you all the stuff about really good game mastering. I'm telling you all the stuff about really rough and tumble, amateurish, quick and dirty game mastering. So just pick your sources and you'll be fine as a GM. That's my advice, basically. Gasiform Snake says, it should work out as long as your players aren't complete crazies. So yeah, um, some might be, but I think the group dynamic holds them in check. I'm looking at you, David. Um, um, he's great. He's a great guy, but he intends to really show me how dangerous he is to my plot, and the other players always keep him in check a bit, and I'm so grateful because I couldn't do that. Right. So what I'm telling you is this: if you're watching this and you have never game mastered before, this is basically quick and dirty. You can, if you have the ideas, you write them down. If you have a concept, you draw it up and just run with it. Don't think too. The players will always mess with your plans. Don't think too much ahead. Just have something in your hands to give them to give to the players, and most players will gladly accept what you have to offer, even if it's just rough and tumble stuff like this. So I think the stream is at an end. I thank you for watching and listening and chatting and for your input. I have to get rid of those those black letterbox borders. I'll try to do this until next time. But until then, have a good time. Play some D&D. It's great. Thank you for coming along, and bye bye.